Today you will learn full history of the Bible about the Old and New Covenant of God with mankind. From Adam in the Garden of Eden to the birth of Jesus and establishment of salvation and Christianity. No doubt after you finish watching this video, your understanding of scriptures will not be the same. You will love the Lord more, trust me. By the way, this will happen if only you open your heart to the Word of God. If you find difficult to understand the scriptures, in this video you will be able to unlock their meanings. After you finish watching this video, I am sure your mind will be opened and you will have full capacity to understand the scriptures with no doubt. God, who is the creator of everything, is infinity. He is eternal and everlasting. He was not created, and without him nothing existed. In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth and all the habitation that dwells in them, in the sixth day of his marvelous creation. God created a man in his image and put him in the Garden of Eden. He named that man Adam because he is the father of all mankind on earth. He saw that he cannot be alone, so he made for him a helper from his ribs, and he named her Eve because she is the mother of all mankind living upon the earth. Then God blessed them and allowed them to multiply and fill the earth. From Adam and Eve they gave birth to their two sons, Cain and Abel. Cain was a farmer while Abel was a livestock keeper. The day came when they offered a sacrifice to God. Abel's sacrifice was accepted while Cain's was rejected. Envy and jealous came upon his brother, and he murdered him in wilderness and became the first man to murder a man on earth. For that case he was cursed by God. Later Adam had another son in the place of Abel, and he named him Seth. All these happened outside Eden. Adam and Eve were chased out of the garden after disobeying God's command. They were instructed by God to eat from all the trees in the garden except for the tree at the center of the garden. That tree had the ability to unlock their understanding between good and evil. God warned them about the outcome of disobeying his instruction and eating from that tree. Also, there was another tree at the center of the garden called the tree of life. When Adam and Eve ate from the tree of good and evil, their understanding of good and evil was unlocked. They were removed from the garden to prevent them from taking the fruits from the tree of life and live in sin forever. God wanted to restore them through death so he can fulfill the purpose for man creation, that his communion is with him for eternity. Seth covered a place of Abel, who was murdered by his brother to carry on the lineage, which we shall see later how this generation brought Jesus Christ the Messiah. The ground Cain cultivated was then cursed by God because of the blood of his brother, which was heard in the ears of God crying from the soil. Cain was warned by God before about the sin which is about to fall upon him, and God encouraged him to win it over, but Cain's heart was tough to obey the voice of the Lord. Cain went out from the face of the Lord and dwelt in Nod at the east of Eden. God marked him so no one can kill him. Through Seth, a son was born at his age of 105 years, and he named him Enos. From there, after they started to worship the Lord. Through the generation of Seth, who was in likeness of his father, Adam, the lineage of Jesus continued after a period of 130 years since Cain murdered his brother Abel. After Enos lived 90 years, he begat a son, and he named him Cainan. Enos lived 905 years, and he was collected with his fathers. Cainan begat Mahalaleel at the age of 70 years. Cainan died at the age of 910 years. Mahalaleel begat Jared at the age of 65 years. After he begat Jared, he had other sons and daughters like his forefathers. He died at the age of 895 years. Jared begat Enoch at the age of 162 years, and he had sons and daughters. He had a grace of 962 years, then he died at his old age. Methuselah was the son of Enoch when he reached the age of 65 years. He also had other sons and daughters. At the age of 300 years after he begat Methuselah, he was taken by God. Enoch didn't experience death because God took him alive at the age of 365 years. Methuselah begat Lamech at his age of 187 years. He had other sons and daughters. All the days of Methuselah were 969 years. Then he died. Lamech begat a son at the age of 182 years. The name of his son was Noah, meaning the Comforter who will bring hope to them after their hard work on the land cursed by the Lord. Lamech had other sons and daughters. He lived 777 years. Then he passed away and he was collected with his fathers. At the age of 500 years, Noah begat 3 sons. Their names were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. When people increased on the face of the earth, sin also increased. The giants existed also in the days of Noah. God decided to wipe out all of them from the face of the earth. But Noah had grace upon the face of the Lord. He was saved from the flood together with his family and a pair of animals. He did as God instructed him to do, and he had God's favor. Then God poured flood on earth, and the end of all the living came. Noah, his wife, his 3 sons and their wives were favored by God. They were covered inside the ark built by Noah under God's instructions. Noah was 600 years when the floods wiped all the living that live on earth. He lived a sum of 900 years and 50. Then he died and he was collected together with his fathers. Through the 3 sons of Noah nations were born, and they multiplied on the face of the earth. 2 years after the flood, when Shem reached 100 years old, he begat a son, and he named him Arphaxad. After he begat Arphaxad, he lived 500 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Arphaxad lived 35 years, and he begat Salah. He lived 400 years and 3, and he begat other sons and daughters. Salah lived 30 years, and he begat Eber. After he begat Eber, he lived 400 years and 3, and he had other sons and daughters. Eber was blessed by the Lord with Peleg when he was 34 years old. He lived 430 years, and he begat other sons and daughters. At the age of 30, Peleg begat Reu. He lived 200 years and 9, and he had other sons and daughters. After 32 years of Reu, he begat Serug. He lived more 200 and 400 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Serug lived 30 years, and he begat a son. He named him Nahor. He lived 200 years, and he begat other sons and daughters. At the age of 29, Nahor begat Terah. Nahor lived to the age of 119, and he begat sons and daughters. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Haran begat Lot, and he died early before his father Terah. Terah died at the age of 205 years. Abram took a wife. Her name was Sarah. She was barren for a long time, which made her give her husband her helper Hagar to give them the heir. Hagar begat Ishmael with Abram. God promised Abram to give him another son from Sarah, who will take his possessions. Then Sarah took pregnant, and she bared him a child as God promised Abram at her old age. Abram named his son Isaac. When Isaac was born, Abram was 100 years old. He lived more 75 years, and he died at the age of 175. Isaac took Rebekah as a wife, and she bore to him twin sons. The older was Esau, and the younger Jacob. Jacob begat Judah and his 11 brothers. These are the tribes of Israel, the new name of Jacob given by the Lord. Certainly, the genealogy of Jesus from Judah is recorded in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 1, verses 1-17. It starts with Abraham and goes through several generations, including notable figures. The genealogy continues through various kings of Judah until it reaches Joseph, the husband of Mary. Matthew 1:16 specifically mentions the genealogy underscores the fulfillment of Old Testament prophecies, such as the promise to David of an everlasting kingdom. It establishes Jesus' rightful lineage from the tribe of Judah, affirming his messianic identity and fulfilling the prophecies of a descendant who would bring salvation to the world. And Judah begat Phares. Phares begat Aram. Aram gave birth to Amminadab. Amminadab begat Naasson. Naasson gave birth to Salmon. Salmon begat Booz, and Booz gave birth to Obed. Obed begat Jesse. Jesse gave birth to King David. David the king of Israel begat Solomon his heir from the woman he took from Uriah. King Solomon the wise man of ages begat Roboam. Roboam gave birth to Abiah. Abiah begat Asa. Asa gave birth to Josaphat. Josaphat begat Joram. Joram gave birth to Ozias. Ozias begat Joatham. Joatham gave birth to Achaz. Achaz begat Ezekias. Ezekias gave birth to Manasses, and Manasses begat Amon. Amon gave birth to Josias. Josias begat Jeconias. During this era they were taken captives to Babylon. In the land of slavery in Babylon, Jeconias begat Salathiel. Salathiel begat Zorobabel, and Zorobabel gave birth to Abiud. Abiud begat Eliakim. Eliakim gave birth to Azor. Azor begat Sadoc, and Sadoc gave birth to Achim. Achim then begat Eliad. Eliad gave birth to Eleazar. Eleazar begat Mathan. Mathan gave birth to Jacob. Jacob gave birth to Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom Jesus Christ was born. 42 generations passed until the birth of Jesus Christ. One generation is a span of 100 years period. From Abraham to David, it took 14 generations. And from David to carrying away into Babylon, it took another 14 generations. And from carrying away into Babylon unto Christ, it took another 14 generations, which make a sum of 42 generations from Abraham to the birth of Christ. These are the generations from the period God had the covenant with Abraham to prepare a way of his coming on earth for restoration of mankind. It took him a long time to fulfill this divine task. This profound lessons from the generation that witnessed the birth of Jesus, we unravel timeless virtues of love, faith, and resilience. Their unwavering commitment to hope amid challenges sets an inspiring example for navigating life's complexities. Join us in this community on this insightful journey through history as we draw wisdom from the past to illuminate the path to a brighter present and future. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more transformative reflections from this channel. Until next time, stay blessed.